Hey, thanks for checking out my video. I'm Olivia, and today I'm going to be doing a full face using products from my everyday makeup drawer. Alright, so I'm just going to get right into it. On my face right now, I just have a lip balm and then this color corrector from Sigma. And I'm going to be mixing this foundation from CoverFX with this Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer. I'm just going to mix them on the back of my hand and then go in and put it on my face. I prefer doing this kind of method because I feel like I can use a lot more primer because this foundation is a little bit drying. So I kind of like to mix it in advance so I can do like almost like half and half, just so I can really keep this kind of sheer and hydrating. So now I'm just going to go in with this CoverFX concealer. And I really just want a little bit of it kind of under my eyes to brighten up. And a little bit on my forehead, clearly. You might have noticed these incredibly dark circles under my eyes, and if you did, thank you. I was gonna say like it's really been a week, but to be honest, it's been a month. I did a bit too much, so I'm just kind of putting it all over the place. It's fine. But yeah, it's been a month. I'm in the middle of a transition in terms of my employment. I started a new job a couple days a week. So I've been like transitioning out of one role and then training on a new one and then trying to take a course on top of it. So I feel like I've been working basically nonstop. Like I get home from work and then I have to do more paperwork. So it's been a lot. I probably shouldn't have powdered because I'm gonna go in with my cream products now, but I really only did it under the eyes and a little bit on the forehead. So it should be fine, but I'm gonna go in, well actually I'll just show you, I was using the e.l.f. sheer powder. And now I'm gonna go in with the Soul Body bronzer. Yeah, you might have noticed I've been a little non-existent on social media. I mean, I haven't really been posting a lot of YouTube videos anyway because I'm still pretty new with this. But even Instagram, I feel like I've kind of just disappeared. I've just been too busy to keep up with everything lately. Honestly, I didn't even think I was gonna have time to film this video. I was kind of planning on skipping it. But some of my plans, well, my plans didn't really change. I just kind of misremembered. And I realized I had a little extra time this weekend, so I ended up kind of deciding last minute to film this video. So originally I'd kind of wanted to do this video, kind of like the last one I did for this little series. I was hoping to do some polls on Instagram and be a little more interactive with everyone, and then people can kind of choose what products they wanted to see featured in this video. But again, I didn't really think I would have time to do this. I wasn't really planning on filming this at all. So yeah, I kind of just picked out the products myself this time. But for next round, I will try to do the polls if you're even interested in that. And yeah, I'm happy I was able to squeeze this video in. So I'm just going to go in with the cream blush that I chose. This one was from Muse Beauty, which ended up rebranding to Kai Love. This is just their cream blush duo. There definitely looks like there might be an eyelash and a brow hair in here. We're just going to ignore that. But I am going to go in with this side because it's a little less warm and I have an idea of the eye look I want to do. So I think this one will look a little bit better with it. I'm just going to use the same brush because why not? Whoops. I'm not really sure how this immediately got out of hand, but we'll just go with it and I'll try to fix it. I feel like if I'm ever rushing, I should just stay away from blush altogether. Like, why is it here? All right, I feel like that actually blended out really nicely. I feel like it looks good. I don't really know if the blush color was actually like the best option. It looks really pretty, but I'm going with this palette today. And I was wanting to do something with like the grays and purples, and I feel like it's still warmer than what I planned, but I really wanted to use it. So I was thinking of going over the blush with this powder one from Pat McGrath, and I feel like the purpley tone might make it a little bit more cool. I just don't know if it'll mesh well with the cream we have down, but let's just give it a try. I will mix the two colors because I feel like if I do just the purple, it's gonna look weird with like the peachy shade I have down. So I'll mix it a little bit, and I'm not gonna go in with too much. I say that now, just want a little bit. Can she do it? do a little bit on my nose. All right, I feel like that's not bad. I feel like I'm happy with that. And this blush was called Venusian Sunrise. I was planning on using my Hoola bronzer on top of that ColourPop one. I don't know, maybe I'll just do like a little bit. That ColourPop one was super warm, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that shade, but now I feel like I'm going too heavy on the bronzer. I don't really know if I love that before or after adding the powder bronzer. I guess it looks fine. I feel like it looks a little heavy on the bronzer. And again, the Soul Body one or ColourPop one or whatever, it was just really warm. It's just almost a little too yellow, I think. But it's on my face now, and I'll probably just do a dramatic eye look to distract you from it anyway. All right, so I'm gonna leave the base there for now. I'm gonna do the brows off camera so that you can't see me struggle, and then I'll come back to do the eye look. All right, so my brows are done. I'm ready to jump into the eye look. As I mentioned, I wanted to use this palette today. It's the Nomad Fêtes de Provence. I was kind of wanting to reach for a palette that I hadn't really used yet from the little pile I had in my last Shop My Stash video. And this is actually one of the palettes that I've used the most over the last month. I've been using this quite a lot lately. So I wasn't originally going to feature this one today, but I did see that Nomad is actually re-releasing this for their 10th anniversary along with 2 other palettes. This had actually been discontinued, I think like maybe 2 years ago, give or take. So yeah, it looks like this is actually going to be available again, which is really exciting. And I thought it would actually be a really good time to use it. So I'm wanting to do something kind of colorful, but not too intricate. Maybe something a little bit blown out or smoky. As I mentioned, I'm kind of feeling maybe a combination of like these shades here with either a pop of pink or yellow. I'm not sure yet about the pop. But yeah, I'll just jump into it for now and we'll see where it goes. So my eyes are already primed, and I'm just gonna go into this dark shade here to get the look started. And I'm just gonna put that in the outer corner. Got a little bit of fallout, but that's okay. I'm gonna bring it on the lower lash line anyway. And I'm kind of just winging the shape out a little bit too. So I think I'm gonna blend that out with this dark purple shade here. I think it's really exciting that they're bringing this palette back along with a couple others. This is probably my favorite color story from Nomad, although I think honestly all of their palettes are beautiful. I feel like they always do a really good job with the color stories. I'm going to bring that purple a little bit into the crease here. Actually, probably a lot into the crease because I do want this to be a little bit more dramatic. I will say as like a makeup collector or like a makeup collector who's like trying to not continue to buy a bunch of makeup all the time, or like a collector who's like maybe on a bit of a no buy, I don't love when brands re-release palettes in updated formulas because then obviously if I have the original or the older palette, then I feel like I'm missing out by not having the better one. So I do kind of feel that way about this palette and it being re-released as well. Although like I will say it makes sense for the brand. Like I don't think this has been available for at least a year, if not 2, so it does make sense. And I mean, the colors are exactly the same. So like, I know I really don't need to buy the upgraded version. There's just like that little piece of me that thinks that I do. So that's what I'm battling right now. I just took a little bit more of that really dark kind of gray charcoal shade and I'm bringing that into the crease too. Just to really deepen this up. It's looking a little sloppy, especially on this side. I was kind of wanting to blend it out with this really light pink here, but I'm not sure if that would clash, and I feel like I should be using this. I think I'll start with this one, and then I'll see how I feel about adding the pink. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick with this one. It's looking a little messy, so I'm gonna go back in with this darker purple shade and try to kind of, I don't know, mesh the other colors together a little bit more. If it gets too out of hand, we're just gonna go with the grungy vibe and roll with it. And we'll just pretend like it was on purpose. And I'm just gonna re-intensify that first shade. Mostly just in the outer corner. And I'm taking the dark purple on the lower lash line as well. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna go a little grungy today. All right, I didn't blend it out the best in all areas, but that's fine. I'm gonna go in probably pretty heavy with some of the shimmers. I just am debating. I feel like the purple is the obvious choice for this one, but I haven't really used this kind of like bluey gray very much. And it also depends on which kind of pop of color I want to do. I was leaning on either like the yellow or the bright pink for the inner corner. I feel like either shimmer would look really good if I use the pink, but then I feel like if I go with the yellow inner corner, I should probably use the purple shimmer. Although the blue would look really cool too. Here are the shimmers. I feel like maybe I'll actually mix them and use both because the purple one's definitely more of like the depth that I wanted, but the blue one does look really interesting too. So yeah, let's just start with the purple because I do want this to be darker regardless. Clearly I'm a little bit of a mess lately. I just keep getting eyeshadow everywhere. I really don't know if I need the blue, but it's already in my finger, so I'm just gonna go over top. You know what? I kind of like those mixed together actually. I feel like that looks really cool. I feel like that still didn't help me figure out which inner corner I wanted to do. I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit stuck on this one. I'm also not sure if the pink would actually be like light enough for an inner corner on me, but I don't know, I'm kind of leaning on the pink. So I'll just try that. I don't know if I'll use the shimmer yet. I'll just try this for now. Yeah, it might be just a little bit too pasty for this to be an inner corner. But I think with how like deep and like kind of smoky the whole look is, I feel like it's enough. I feel like it looks okay. The pink shimmer kind of has like a blue shift to it. So I might actually top that on the inner corner as well. I feel like it'll actually go pretty well with the rest of the look. I might top over everything with a little bit of highlight. I'm not sure yet. And then for the inner part of the lower lash line here, I'm gonna go in with just the purple shimmer. And I'm not gonna bother mixing the blue with it. And I'm just gonna blend out the lower lash line with this lighter purple shade. And I'm actually gonna take a mix of this lavender shade with the bright pink on a very fluffy brush and just try to blend out everything just to make it look a little bit smoother at the top here. And I kind of want a little bit of that bright pink on the brow bone too. Even though it's not quite bright enough for an actual highlight, I feel like this is still kind of a fun little pop. All right, I think that's gonna be the eye look. I feel like it's very dramatic and smoky, but I actually really love the little pops of like pink that I did. I feel like it looks really cute and a little bit funky, so I'm really feeling it. I'm gonna finish up the eyes off camera, so I'll find something for my waterline and I'll put on a lash, and then I'll come back to do a lip combo. All right, so this is the finished look. I got a little carried away and just did the lips off camera. But I use this random like purple lip liner. This is probably like an Ipsy or BoxyCharm thing from years ago. And then I went in with this liquid lipstick from Unearthly, and it's in the shade Moonlit Mauve. For the waterline, I really wanted like a pale pink, and then I realized I actually don't have one. So if you know of a good pale pink eyeliner, help a girl out and leave a comment down below. So for today, I tried my best. I ended up combining 3 of them to try and make a pale pink. But I used one of the Norvina Chroma sticks in the shade Electro Pink. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but I do kind of like them. And then I used this kind of pastel lavender shade from LA Girl, and it's in the shade Lavender. And then I topped those with this white eye pencil from NYX. So I feel like I was able to create pretty much what I wanted. I feel like it looks pretty good. I think it matches well. And I mean, while I'm here, I'll just give you a little close-up. This is the finished eye look. I forgot to mention the lashes are from Lashaholic Lashes, and it's just in the style Glow Up. And then I did actually forget highlight, and there's one palette that I've been wanting to use. I had reached for both of these during my Shop My Stash video, and I've used this one from Persona the least, so I was tempted to use this. I was also tempted to use this one today from Unearthly, just because it was like a light pink, and I feel like it would have gone nicely with this look. But I think instead I'll actually go in with a little bit more of a fun highlight from this Blush Tribe palette. I've used this a couple times over the last few weeks, and I've really been loving doing a little bit more of a fun highlight. I feel like this formula is pretty nice. I feel like I've been able to get away with even the colorful shades, so I did want to reach for it one more time today. And I feel like the best option for today's look would be this one. It kind of looks like a pinky bluey highlight, so I feel like it'll match my eye look really well. So I'll just go in with a little bit of that. And I feel like I'm just forever gonna struggle with showing off my highlight on my iPhone camera. But I mean, hopefully it picks up. I really do like this highlight palette. And I'm just gonna use a little bit on my little pinky here, just for a little nose detail. Yeah, I feel like that looks really pretty. I've really been loving a more colorful or funky looking highlight lately. I might actually end up keeping this in my drawers for another month. I haven't really decided yet. But you'll see in my next Shop My Stash video what I end up doing. But yeah, anyway, this is the final look. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to know if you have any of these products or what you've been reaching for the most during the spring. If you also have this palette, I encourage you to reach for it, show it some love. If you don't have this palette, it looks like it's going to be available soon, if not already. Although you obviously don't need to buy it. I'm sure if you wanted to recreate this look, which you might not, but if you wanted to take some inspo, you really don't need this palette to do a look like this. I'm really just using these videos as a way to rotate through my collection and get some use out of my older makeup. So that really is the primary purpose of this kind of series for me. But yeah, I was just really happy to use this palette again. I had a lot of fun creating this look, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again for spending your time with me today and for checking out my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!